how much they miss an alpha masculine man. And I want a man to come and do this for me and provide and take care of me, and I'm tired and I fell for the feminism and the working and I'm exhausted and I want to have kids. But I seldom hear them say, and this is what I will give.
Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Making the Case. We're on episode 229. Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Jacob Isom. We got two channel norms over here. One, we attack points in our people, and then two, we don't do all that cussing and fussing and derogatory stuff. We like to keep it professional over here. Now, based off the clip, can you guess what we're talking about in this episode? Now, we're addressing how men don't receive much in a relationship. Okay. And now we're going to talk about, what tangible things men do get in a relationship and if it's even worth it. There's a reason why nowadays women are complaining about men not wanting to commit. There's a reason why women are saying that men aren't approaching them anymore. There's a reason why women are saying that guys don't want to date. Okay. All those connect and tie to each other because men are starting to say, okay, what do I get out of it? Other than you agreeing with me to actually have sexual relations, right? Which, by the way, is a mutual decision. Okay. Unfortunately, for years, decade, maybe even for centuries, women have used that as a tool in order to entice men and hold over men as if it's supposed to be on the pedestal or it's supposed to be more important than a man's physical body, right? And it's just not true, right? But unfortunately, a lot of men follow along with it, been duped by that, right? But at the end of the day, like, what tangible are you bringing to a relationship? Okay. So men are starting to ask that question now. And of course, women are not happy by it because for the longest, as a matter of fact, I just recently heard a woman on a podcast say, well, women are supposed to be feminine and just be. And when she said it, I almost lost it because unfortunately, a lot of women have this mentality. They believe it, that they are just supposed to be the woman and get money spent on them, taken out, etc. Right? But what men are starting to say is, okay, if you are doing that, why would I commit to that? Because if you take that same scenario outside of dating and relationships and you put that context into anything, nobody would. If you're at a job and you just being, if you're in sports and you just being and not working hard, so nobody will accept this in any other arena or any other realm. It just doesn't make sense. Why would a man commit to that and put his life on the line and finances on the line and things like that? Just doesn't make sense. All right. So that's what we're going to be addressing in today's videos. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Ask you something, you gentlemen listening to the show. What do you gain from your relationship? Yes, I said it. What do you gain from your relationship? What is it that you think your wife, your girlfriend, your friends with benefits, whatever you have, what is she giving you that's valuable to you? What value do you get from your relationship? Because I guarantee you, you give a lot. Because men are inherently givers and women are inherently receivers. I mean, for God's sakes, have you taken any kind of anatomy class? It ranges from everywhere, from our basic attitudes and our biology, how our socioeconomic system is set up, to even our sexual organs. Everything is designed for men to be givers and women to be receivers. I want to ask you something, you.
And he's absolutely right. Men, we are naturally givers. And I know that ties in a lot to us being providers, right? So we understand that in general and on a large scale, in order for communities and societies and cultures to thrive, men have to make sure we protect and we provide, right? So biologically, socially, culturally, we understand all that, right? But even when we nail it down to the individual level, right? I mean, men are naturally giving women. I know I've always been in that position, right? Unfortunately, nowadays we call it simping. It really just depends, right? We can break that down in another video and probably already have, but men naturally give to women. Women naturally take from men, right? So there's a natural imbalance that go on, which men are not asking for 50-50. Ladies, I just want y'all to understand that. But what men are asking for is some consideration, some reciprocity, right? Some care, you know, smile, be nice. So like, I mean, it's other ways that in each man is different, but in general, men are typically the same. It's ways that you have to figure out how you can be a value and a benefit to that man versus just always taking. Okay. So this is a conversation that we got to continue to have, right? Because the reason why, a big reason why that men are frustrated in relationships are not working is because we're doing all the work and we like, what are we really getting out of it? It's a fair question to ask. If you ask me. Let's get into our next clip.
And give up mentally.
Faster than men?
Yeah.
I disagree. Here's why. I think men leave mentally faster because we don't like to communicate our problems or what we have going on with the women. And with doing that, we start to mentally go find it somewhere else and entertain other options, which in case leads us to leaving you mentally first. We just don't say, hey, we're done. We just wait for you to say, hey, now I'm done. We're like, okay, cool. I already found something else anyway. But let me go ahead and cry, act like I'm crying.
I disagree because you guys already changed to get in the relationship.
Yes, we do.
So when a woman is telling you, you need to work on these things, you're going to try and work on it because you know it's trash out there in the streets. That's why you committed.
Yeah, but us men aren't giving you that chance. We ain't telling you what you're messing up on. We just can go find it somewhere else.
I think women give up mentally.
And that's a tough conversation because I've did a video before talking about how women leave mentally first. I probably would agree with the young lady and say women do leave mentally first before they leave physically. Men leave physically first before they leave mentally, right? And it has a lot to do with the fact that, hey, I'm doing so much is like, and if all you offering is sex, then well, I can go get that sex elsewhere, right? So I think that's a huge part of why men check out physically first, because it's like, hey, like if sex is the only thing that's holding me here, then I'm just gonna go, like you said, I'm just gonna go get it from somewhere else, right? But this ties into what we're talking about. How is if a man feel like he's just doing so much, it's like, I think a lot of men have been here. I'll be honest, I've been there in relationships. When I look back at my previous relationship, I gained nothing. I gave everything, but I gained little to nothing. I would tell you that, right? Even what men would consider the basics, cooking and cleaning, not even that, right? So once a man figure out or realize that it's like, okay, there's really nothing that you could do for me in this situation, he will literally leave physically before he even call it off. Because men really don't like leaving relationships. Okay. We just don't like the emotional baggage. We don't like the turmoil. We don't like the conflict like that. Okay. So unfortunately, we will stay longer than we should have. Most men do that. Okay. Let's get to our next clip.
Admiration. He wants you to admire him about something. Now, he might not ever say that, but find something that you admire about your guy and tell him. Number two, every guy wants to be appreciated. Yeah, he knows he needs to take care of his children. He needs to provide for his family, but he wants you to tell him. Y'all, stop acting like a man is so hard. Number three, a man wants you to be honest, even if it hurts. When you're honest with the guy, He knows what to expect from you. He knows that you're not going to bullshit him. He knows that you're not going to tell him lies. He knows that he can always count on getting the truth from you. A man wants that. And the fourth and final thing that I have is a man wants a woman who will stand up for herself. Now, a lot of us men, we're full of shit. I mean, we got some game.
I don't know about. Well, I don't know about the last one. I wouldn't say that a man wants a pushover, but it's not in the list of what a man is really looking for in a relationship with a woman. Now, I would tell you the reason why I wanted to show you this clip is for the simple fact that, unfortunately, a lot of women are not cognizant of the things that he mentioned and are not actually bringing them. Right? So, particularly, I would say the honesty is flaky at best, right? Because people will protect themselves before they would make sure they honest with you, right? So if they have to lie in order to keep them from being accountable, then that's what they'll do, right? So you really have to find you a woman that is going to be genuine and true to herself and is willing and able to be accountable to themselves first, right? That you don't have to check somebody. You shouldn't have to check a grown person over and over and over, right? You should be doing that for yourself, right? And so the reason why this situation is tough, because it's like, if I can't even trust you to be accountable, if I can't trust you to be mature emotionally, if I can't trust that, you willing to not only have your best interest, but my best interest at heart, then once again, what is the point, right? So I gotta trust and believe that you're a person that actually has some morals and some dignity about yourself, right? And if a man is not believing that, a man nowadays have a hard time of believing that a woman is going to be accountable enough, vulnerable enough, and honest enough to truly be in a mature relationship where he's giving so much and she's not doing as much, right? It's not that men don't care and understand that they're going to do more, but it's like, you got to fill in the gaps, right? That's really what men want. I got one more video for you and we'll end it.
I mean, so it's okay. It's okay to stand still. It's okay to stand still. And I think it goes back to being comfortable in your own skin and knowing yourself, right? And knowing that you're motivated and knowing that you're ambitious and not letting movement dictate what defines you.
But let's be honest, usually that pressure of a man having to perform, having to show up and things like that usually comes when a man gets into a relationship with a woman. Let's just be honest, guys. For some of you who are in relationships, think about the time you were single. You used to do whatever you wanted to do. You would go wherever you wanted to go. If you wanted to call out of work, you would. If you wanted to take 2 weeks off work, you would. If you wanted to work 40 hours, 30, you would, because you didn't have to spend as much. But as soon as a man gets into a relationship, now you're expected to perform. And if you don't perform, she's going to look at you sideways. And this is a whole thing where they say men become broke when they get into relationships, and women start to save more money when they get into relationships. Because men know as soon as you get a woman, you used to go out and eat or even order Uber Eats for $40, but now you got a girlfriend. Now it's going to be $80, sometimes $100, because you can't go to one place. You feel me? Now you never used to pay for Netflix. Now you got a girl. Now you got to spend more, which means you got to work more, which means you got to perform more. If you don't, she's going to disrespect you. She's going to find a new man. And then some men get caught in that loop, never-ending loop. And then that relationship ends. You didn't save any money. You're still stuck because all the money you made extra because you worked more hours, but still you are spending it on her. Then that relationship ends, and then you find another woman, and then 10 years go by, 15 years go by. Before you know it, they've all left. Because at the end of the day, majority of the relationships and women you meet are going to end. Whether it's 20 years, 30 years. Men and women are not dying together anymore in long-term marriages and things like that. Forget about that,
But I mean, I can't disagree with anything that he said, because I mean, men understand this. Men understand that they're going to carry more of the financial load, more of everything, right? I know a lot of time women talk about emotionally, but men carry an emotional toll as well. So if anything, that's more equal than anything, even though y'all know how I feel about that word. But um men understand that when they get with a woman, like they like when a man is by himself, like things are more peaceful. He keep more money. I mean, this is just the reality, right? So a man really have to be digging you and really have to like you and eventually love you in order for him to keep doing the things that he know he's going to have to do in order to keep you happy, right? Because really he can't truly keep you happy, but he's going to try. He's going to try his hardest, right? But unfortunately, most men are going to fail, right? Because their woman has to be complete within first in order for a man to come into her life and really make sure that she's comfortable with the relationship. So men do have a pressure, whether it's internal or external. You know, society definitely put a pressure on men. Women can, right? And a lot of times it's not conscious, right? They just know what they want or what they quote unquote need in a relationship. So it's definitely true, right? And once again, that's why men are starting to ask, okay, if I'm doing all this, if I'm going on my way, if I got this pressure on me, what do I gain? What do I get? It's a fair question. That's all we saying. All right. We're going to end the video on that note. Hey, let me know in the comments, man. What do you think about this topic? It's a very serious topic. We got to address this, right? And we're going to keep on addressing this. All right. So y'all already know. Thank you for watching and rocking with me. As always, I'm you and me. Love always, love eternal. Remember, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And we out. Deuces. One love.